We are ready to begin. We are eager to begin. We are pleased that you are here. It's co-creating at its best. You may know that already, and you may be about to find it out, but it is our expectation that as you focus with us here today, with each other and with us, that together we will take thought beyond what it has been before. That's always fun. But even more important, more the point of all of this, is for you to focus with us, not necessarily on subjects, but on vibrational patterns of thought, your expectations and your beliefs and so on, and having a better than ever opportunity to feel your focus shifting to your advantage. That's really the benefit of a gathering like this. You've developed patterns of thought. It's natural because you live in a world that attracts your attention. And as you give attention to this and that, whatever the vibrational content of it, and even more to the point, whatever the vibrational content of it is in relationship to the way your inner being is seeing it, the source within you is seeing it, there is a thing that happens. You might be focusing on something that is real and accurate, and the world is saying it's true, and you may be focusing on it, but in doing so, you are diverging from the focus that your inner being has through you and about you. In other words, your inner being will not look for something that is real if it takes the vibrational focus or beingness away from what your inner being has chosen as its set point. In other words, your inner being is about love and about upliftment. And if you're finding a thought, a valid one, that brings up in you a feeling of fear or anger or one of those emotions that you would call negative emotions, what's happening in that moment is you haven't been disconnected, you never will be, but you have chosen to focus, and the law of attraction has responded to your focus in a way that you are not now in harmony with your broader perspective. And that's why the emotion feels bad to you rather than good. If you find a thought that is in perfect resonance with the way your inner being is seeing things, then you feel interest at a minimum. Interest, or maybe a fascination, or maybe a feeling of, I'd like a little more about that, maybe wondering or pondering. And if it's really something that is important to you, and this is the thing we want you to hear, we're not talking about your inner being being all decided about stuff and needing you to decide the same thing that your inner being has decided in order for you to get to feel the thrill of being happy like your inner being is happy. It's not like that. Your inner being is focused upon what you have been asking for. You've been shooting off these combustible rockets of desire your entire life. And even before you came into this body, you had strong intentions of who you are. And so every time life causes you to choose, and you can't help it, when someone's rude to you, you don't like it. And when you're rude to someone, you don't like it. They're just things that are hardwired into you, that when you diverge from them, you feel the warning bell of that divergence. And that's what negative emotion is. It's not someone threatening you or punishing you, saying bad things are going to come in response to those bad thoughts and bad feelings. It's not like that. But bad things are coming to you in response to those bad thoughts and those bad feelings, because point of attraction is very, very strong. And so that's what we are eager to talk with you about in these wonderful elongated hours that we get to be together. We want to help you really get a sense of what your point of attraction is in any moment in time, and whether it's the point of attraction that you want it to be, because you can do something about it if it isn't. You don't have to just observe and feel bad and then attract things like that. You can observe and feel bad and then make a new choice. But it's tricky. We know. We give you so much credit because you've been listening to us. Some of you have been hearing us for decades as we're talking to you about how to improve your point of attraction, how to gain control of your point of attraction. And it's not the easiest thing. In fact, it may be the hardest thing because there's so much around you that attracts your interest or attention. And then the law of attraction sneaks up on you in sneaky ways. You give your attention to something unwanted, and the law of attraction brings you more of it. And so your expectation becomes that. Your expectation is, well, when this happens, well, then this happens. And when this happens, I feel like this, and then this happens. And all of that is just you explaining to yourself, or maybe to someone else, how the law of attraction works. But it doesn't explain why you put up with it. It doesn't explain why you're not more deliberate. It doesn't explain why you don't know that you have powerful choices, and that when you make those powerful choices, you become an invincible point of attraction that no one and nothing can override. Nothing can offer a vibration for you, only you. But it's really easy to fall into a sort of sloppy human thinking trap of being an observer rather than an intender. Sometimes you say, well, it's just the way it is. And we say, yes, but it doesn't have to be the way that it is. The way that it is interesting, we know. The way that it is provocative. It is something that you can see. It is something that you can often relate to. But if you ask the question, is this something that I want to perpetuate in the world? And even more, is this something that I want to assign my point of attraction to so that I get this kind of thing up close and personal? And when you start being deliberate about your point of attraction, people around you are going to start asking you, what goes with you? You don't seem to be doing your fair share of suffering. You don't seem to be depriving yourself. Well, they don't put it that way because that's not the way most people. Your luck seems to have changed, is what they'll say to you. What gives? And don't try to explain it to someone who is in that place of really not understanding, because you'll just make them mad. Because it makes them feel better to think that you're lucky and that they're unlucky. It's a way of sort of explaining to themselves why things aren't going better for them. And it's actually not a bad way for them to be. We don't want them to feel bad about their point of attraction just because you are exhibiting a really good point of attraction. You're not a show-off like that, and you're not competitive like that. You don't want to put people down like that. But that we just explained to you is a very big reason why almost everybody you know, and you too, by the way, why so often you're willing to stand focused on something that just feels terrible while you're focused on it. But you do it anyway so that you can justify or explain or rationalize why things aren't going better for you. In pre-Abraham conversation or vernacular, Esther used to hear that in the groups that she ran around with who were goal setters and wanting to have better lives. She would hear the phrase, arguing for your limitation. Why are you arguing for this limitation? And that's exactly what's happening, because this is the way that it is, and don't try to cheer me up and don't try to explain it because I feel this way because that happened. And that other thing also happened, and it's happened a lot, and I see it happening around, and I see these things that are happening, and that's why right now I'm preventing myself from getting what I want, because I'm explaining why I'm preventing myself from getting what I want. I think it's important that you know that I'm not just preventing myself from getting what I want willy-nilly. This is not an accidental thing I do. I really want you to know that it's not my fault that my life sucks. And we really want you to know that it is your fault. That you get what you think about. But we sure do understand why it's easy to fall into that trap of complacency rather than deliberateness. Esther's bracelets say focus and clarity. That matters more to her than all other things put together, because she gets it that her focus is about her choice of where she is on the emotional guidance scale, and that choice represents for now what her point of attraction is, and that what will come to her from where? What will come to her from traffic matches this feeling? What comes to her from the server at the restaurant matches this feeling. What comes to her from the recesses of her own memory match this feeling. What comes matches every time. So we're not asking you to rid yourself of negative emotion, not at all. We're asking you to utilize it to your benefit. We're asking you to understand it and to realize that all it is pointing out to you is where you stand right now with your thoughts in relationship with who you really are and what you really want. It's even bigger than that. What you really want and what your inner being knows that you really want, because you've been launching rockets of desires all day long, every day, and your inner being knows this is a preference, this is a preference, this is a preference, this is a preference. And when your inner being notes the preferences that you have decided, do you know, even when you are saying words in opposition to what you want, it is understood what you want. You get that, don't you? When you're sad, does somebody have to explain to you what the absence of that feels like? When you are so mad you're spitting nails, does somebody have to explain to you what ease and flow feels like? In other words, you know, it is understood. So when your moment in time gives you the blessing, and we mean that, we're not being sarcastic. Later we probably will be on some things, but not on that one. When you receive the blessing of you being aware that you've got negative emotion, you could know that in that moment, because it is absolutely happening, in that moment, you've launched a rocket of clarity that your inner being is giving new attention to. And your point of attraction, as far as your inner being is concerned, has improved mightily. And the only question on the table now is, are you going to let this contrast that served you, because your inner being heard it and knows it and believes it and is on your team all the time, and is focused unequivocally with no contradiction upon what you just added to your amended lists of who you are and what you want. And because your inner being offers no contradictory vibration ever, the point of attraction that your inner being summons by the power of law of attraction is so powerful that we can't even find adequate comparisons. Your inner being is attracting so powerfully on your behalf. In fact, that's a big part of the reason you feel so ornery when you're not doing the same thing. Because the more your inner being knows what you want and is that, the more you feel yourself when you're not doing the same thing. That's your guidance system. So then, what do? We suggest you take a nap in most cases. We do not suggest that you get hold of this negative emotion and you think about, oh yeah, well, the reason that I feel this way is because of what you just did, whoever you are somewhere in this world. You just did something and you made me feel like this, arguing for your limitations and compounding the way you are feeling and reaching to only things like that, and therefore strengthening, because you're holding on to this vibrational state of being for longer than 17 seconds usually. When you're mad, oh, it can go on for a long time. And when you are then trying to talk yourself out of being mad, you don't do it. You talk yourself into being madder, because the law of attraction only hears that you're mad. And the longer you try to fix it, the madder you get. The more reason to be mad comes to you, because the law of attraction is precise, so precise, more so than your radio dial. You don't yell at your receiver that's receiving your music for playing. That's not what I want to hear. Why are you playing that? Because that's the station that you're tuned to, and that's what's playing on that station. Well, I don't prefer that. Well, then pick another station. Don't demand that law of attraction bring you something different than the station you've chosen. Pick a different one.